It is Monday, November 6th, and I am recording this because I wanted to capture how amazing this view is. This is the view from my hotel room. I traveled for the day for a speaking engagement, and I thought I would record a daily update while the view is so nice, even though it'll be a little bit backlit. On November 1st, my face continued to be swollen, and then I still had that neck rash. So I went to the workout class and someone there was like, you should probably go to urgent care. I was actually just gonna wait out the swollen face and the rash, because over the summer when my body went into like the full body rash reaction, I was like, it's not as bad as that. But I went to urgent care, and when they saw my face and they saw my neck, they gave me a steroid shot. That night, I had a dinner with some of the folks who are part of this community that I'm a part of called Summit. On Thursday, that night, I ended up having another dinner, and this was like a kickoff event for a volunteer event that's happening in about a month. It's this new Vietnamese restaurant that opened, and about 2 years ago I had actually gone to a dinner with that chef. I think she became big on social media, and now she has her own restaurant, and I think that was pretty amazing. It was very packed. Even with my face all swollen and not feeling like super great about how I'm looking, I guess I'm impressed with myself that I'm still showing up. Friday I had a speaking engagement in the morning. So I'm kind of closing out the year. I have 4 speaking engagements to go. One I had on Friday, one I had yesterday, so I have 2 more to go. It was just announced last week that I am part of the Unicorn Changemakers Club cohort, and it's a group of activists who are writing books to create narrative change. And we ended up having our orientation event, and I ended up crying. I noticed that this book has kind of been this project, this enormous project that has been existing in the background, and I don't have that much support on it, and it feels really isolating. There are so many other things happening, so the book project kind of falls by the wayside, even though it's a huge project. And I cried because I was just really overwhelmed. I think I cried partly because I'm like, wow, I really already wrote a chunk of this book. And the other part was, wow, I really only have a couple months left to get this to a place where I feel good about it, because then it's gonna go to print. Hopefully you all support. So I'm grateful for that space and grateful that those are the emotions that need to show up. And I'm trying to be more in tune with my body and what I'm feeling, and letting those emotions just come as they need to. I've had just like so many events. I'm trying to say no to more things so that I can be a little bit more focused. And my hope is that things will continue to slow down so that I have capacity. Oh, so Friday was actually an event called Creating Space, and it was really bringing the AAPI community in LA together to focus on mental health and healing. And I was like, I'm gonna hop into a rideshare, and I tried calling a rideshare 3 times and no one would pick me up. But it was also Friday night, but maybe people just didn't want to pick me up. I don't know. So I ended up taking public transit there and being a little bit later than I wanted to. And I got to meet Jenny Wang, who wrote a book called Permission to Come Home. And I actually got introduced to Jenny because we have the same literary agent. She's way ahead. I think her book came out last year, but it was great to meet her in person. Saw a lot of familiar faces there. Saturday was this event called Creator Fest, and I actually got invited to go to Creator Fest because thanks to the YouTube Shorts community, which I just got invited to. About a year ago, I decided I was gonna start recording these daily updates. I wanted to create some more long form content and figure out a way to have some more consistent content on this channel. And at the same time, I started uploading shorts, and it took a little while, but I finally got invited to one of the YouTube creator communities. And my goal this year was to get my channel to monetization, and I'm not quite there yet. But part of what motivated me to want to start recording these daily updates is that I went to a YouTube AAPI event, and I'm not even sure how I got invited to that because at the time I think I only had like 200 subscribers. So I got invited to this Patreon Creator Fest, and I actually didn't recognize a lot of the creators on the lineup other than Jack from Try Guys. So I was like, I'm definitely gonna go catch his session. I got to learn the story behind Patreon, where Jack Conti started out as a musician, really wanted to make it as a musician, so was just performing anywhere that he could, then discovered YouTube, had this idea to create Patreon to figure out ways that his super fans could support him, and built this incredible company that now a lot of creators are able to monetize. So I loved that origin story. I love learning about people's whys. Again, saw a couple familiar faces there. Even got to meet Frank Warren of Post Secret. And the thing is, I'm from Maryland. He's also from Maryland. Post Secret was started as a blog in Maryland where he would put these postcards around the city. You would fill one out and they were already pre-stamped and pre-addressed to him, sharing your secret. Around that point in time, I was in high school, and the story around like the car accident, my dad passing away, like those were all still secrets. I didn't talk about them publicly. Like that was the period of time where this was my big secret. And I remember the whole process of putting together my postcard for Frank. And I remember what it looked like. And I remember just crying the whole time that I put together. It was kind of cool to meet him. One thing I really appreciate about this event was, first of all, everyone was super friendly. I feel like I made a lot of friends. It was also really great that like the more creator events that I go to, again, I think about this like frequency creates familiarity, creates community. So like, because I'm having all these multiple touch points at these creator events, even though I still have a lot of imposter syndrome about my platform and how it's small and hasn't really been growing, I'm still seeing familiar faces. And so I feel like I'm creating this like little creator community. But all of the speakers stuck around to hang out and talk to everyone. I got to thank Jack Conti. I also know that he is the piano player for Scary Pockets, which my friend Kenton performs in. But after that event, I actually felt motivated to relaunch my Patreon account, which I had deactivated just for a couple of days, but I deactivated it because I was like, I don't want another place to be posting content. But after that, I was like, you know what? I do have a couple people who do really want to find ways to support me. There are also ways you can support Diversability. You can make a tax-deductible donation. We have a membership community. You can sponsor a membership for other people. Diversability also has its own Patreon as well. Our whole team is creating content over there. But I created one for Tiffany. There you'll get updates from me. You'll get, first access to videos like this. I create a lot of behind the scenes content. I'll be putting that there as well. And I already have some supporters over there, so thank you for being there. So these events work. Maybe it just means I'm easily impressionable. And this Patreon event worked on me. I didn't stay all the way up until the end because I had to get ready for my speaking engagement. That brings us to Sunday, November 5th. It was also daylight savings, so I was kind of adjusting to that. I was packing a bunch of stuff. So we did open houses this weekend again because the owners of the place that I am currently staying have decided to sell. So all of my stuff is just kind of like hidden in the closets. And because all of my stuff is hidden in the closets, it's like kind of a whole process to get everything out, to pull out what I need. So I had this grand plan that I was going to bring back that green dress that I wore to the White House. And this time I was going to a place where I wasn't gonna sweat in it. I told in my mind, okay, I'm gonna bring the green dress. I'm gonna wear it with this blazer. Then I opened my closet to get the green dress. And then I saw something else in the closet that I needed to take care of. Thought that I packed the green dress and then arrived at my hotel, opened up my luggage, and I did not bring the green dress. This is where lack of object permanence manifests for me, is that I have, and inattentiveness, I have all of these things on my list and then I think I do them, but then I don't. Luckily, I brought a couple of other backup outfits and I'm grateful that I do that. I always bring a couple different options for my speaking engagements. Got ready for the speaking engagement. I have a behind the scenes video where I just have this rash on my neck and I'm desperately trying to put some concealer on it. And I didn't take Benadryl yesterday and I'm feeling better. So I'll go back to LA and see how things end up going. The swelling on my face had gone down, but I was definitely feeling it on my neck. And I noticed that my hair kind of exacerbates it as well. So we'll see. Did the speaking engagement. The speaking engagement was for people who were kind of working in the medical field. I guess what I really appreciated was this was their first time being introduced to this topic. And I asked everyone at the end, I said, did you learn something? And everyone raised their hand, and that felt really validating. I'm not a full-time speaker, but I did a lot of engagements this year, and I'm really grateful for all of those opportunities. And then after my speaking engagement, I got invited to kind of join some of the organizers for a dinner, so I decided to join them. Today's more of a travel day for me, but I'm gonna try recording these more frequently. If you have any questions or stuff, especially if you're on the Patreon, let me know if there are other topics that you want me to talk about in the daily updates, or if you just like the behind the scenes stuff. And I appreciate all of you. And if you want to subscribe to my Patreon, it's patreon.com/I'm Tiffany Yu. And if not, I hope you enjoy this video. All right, bye everybody.